Recording? Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of our Skype show. We're in Friday Surf Synagogue. I'd like to thank again to Jonah Hari and for Meir Yabai for arranging this show. I'd like to dedicate tonight's show Leilun Nishmat for Rivka Bat China and L'Avdil Chaim Tovim. Wish רפואה שלמה for Gerber Lenomi Bat Lea Malka and Elisheva Bat Sheva Bat קלנה רפאנה להם, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף ורפואה קרובה לבוא.
Amen.
And for the baby Abigail Bat Rachel, wish her רפואה שלמה. Okay, everyone, we got studying tonight. Welcome, Joe. We're studying tonight Parasha Ki Teste. And I would like to just bring your attention to a few different points in the parasha. And I think it's a very important fundamental lesson that we can all learn, into our lives about principles in Judaism and what it's all about. If you have a Chumash with you, I would like to study the Perek Chaf Gimel. Perek Chaf Gimel, Pasuk Daled. Okay. Does anybody know the halakha? Jewish people are allowed to marry any other Jewish person, right? On the whole. And even a convert, you're allowed to marry a convert, right? If a lady converts, she's a Jewish lady, kasher gioret, everyone is allowed to marry her apart from a kohen. But every other person in Am Yisrael is allowed to marry them. There is an exception. What is an exception? And that comes in this week's parasha.
Amen.
Thank you. What's the exception? Moabite. So let's please look at the pasuk. Perek Chaf Gimel, pasuk Daled.
Guy, is it only me, or I just missed the last 4 sentences? My apologies.
Just you.
Yeah, we're studying the parasha. If you look at Perek Chaf Gimel, Maor, do you want to read for us the pasuk?
Yes. לא יבוא עמוני ומואבי בקהל השם, גם דור עשירי לא יבוא להם בקהל השם עד עולם.
Okay, so what do we study here? There's a nation which is called Ammon and Moab. And this nation, the Torah tells us that anyone comes from this nation. If they want to be Jewish, then they're welcome to become Jewish. But לא יבוא בקהל השם, you're not allowed to marry the women. גם דור עשירי לא יבוא להם בקהל השם עד עולם. You're not allowed to marry them. 1 second.
Again, what we are not allowed? Sorry.
Not allowed to marry somebody.
Marry them.
Ammon and Moab.
So they can convert to become Jewish?
Yeah, but they have to marry each other. They can't marry Jewish.
Only between themselves, and then like their children? Like here it says even the Dor Asiri, so it means forever they have to marry between themselves.
Exactly. Now, let me just ask you a question. Nowadays, we don't know who is from this nation of Ammon and Moab. So we accept all converts, and halachically we're allowed to marry everyone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that this pasuk is irrelevant for us nowadays?
What, that converts have to marry converts?
No. So no, a Jewish person is allowed to marry a convert because why? The Torah says specifically from this nation of Ammon and Moab, we're not allowed to marry. There's something bad about this nation that we're not allowed to marry the converts, and they can't marry Jewish women. Every other convert we're allowed to marry. Nowadays, because we don't know who is this nation of Moab and Ammon. Right, you marry a lady from America, or from Australia, from France. You marry her. But you don't know if she's from Ammon and Moab. Now
But in this pasuk it says Ammoni and Moavi, not Ammonit and Moavit, so it's for male.
Oh, very good. What does that mean? Yeah.
So only male.
Only male. So very good. Ma is quite right, and I was going to explain it, but Ma brought it up. The pasuk says specifically only the male converts. That means a Jewish lady is not allowed to marry a male convert from this nation. But a lady convert, you are allowed to marry. And in fact, one of the most famous lady converts was
Can I?
Moab. Who was from Moab?
Ruth?
Ruth and Moaviah was from Moab. And in fact, Ruth was the grandmother of the King David HaMelech. And we learn from this pasuk, Ammoni v'Moavi, that Moavi is a male and not a female Moavi.
Can I ask a quick question?
Please, Joe.
It's not necessarily on this particular topic, but is a man isn't allowed, a Cohen isn't allowed to marry a convert.
Right.
Does that apply for male and female? So is a female, a Jewish female Cohen allowed to marry a convert male?
Yeah, it's a good question, Joe. Yeah, it's not directly related, but I'm going to answer your question. A bat Kohen.
Just on my mind, I'll forget it otherwise.
No, it's okay. It's a good question, legitimate. No, specifically, is the prohibition is on a Kohen, on a male Kohen, that he should not marry a convert. A bat Kohen, she is allowed to marry anyone. However, there is a special privilege in marrying the daughter of a Kohen. And in fact, the Halach says that she should marry at least a Talmid Chacham Israel. She's not marrying a Kohen, but she's married. She's allowed to marry any Yisrael Kasher. She's allowed to marry. So why am I talking about this pasuk? We're sitting here on, the year 2018, right? Why are we studying this pasuk about Moavi and Ammonim? So the Torah does not have an expiry date. Yeah, it doesn't expire at any year. It's always legitimate, and there's very we can learn from it. And I want to show you how, from this specific pasuk, we learn one of the most fundamental principles in Judaism and, in fact, in creation. And I want you to follow with me as to the reason why. Why is this nation different from all other nations? Who is Ammon and Moab? So the pasuk says, do you want to read the next pasuk? Meir, you have a chumash with you? So first, we just mentioned that these two nations, Ammon and Moab, you can't marry them, even though after 10 generations. They're not as... And specifically the males, not the females. And the pasuk tells us why. Pasuk hey. You got lad female. Right, which means the pasuk tells us two specific reasons. One reason, what was one reason? Mayor? I don't know. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I come to your house, Mayor, you don't offer me tea and biscuits, that I can't marry you anymore? Your family?
Maybe there's a lot of... Maybe it's showing they're not...
Yeah, in fact, it's a Gemara. Siman of Am Yisrael, Rachmanim and Gomlei Chasadim. In fact, let me just say, they get the story straight. When Am Yisrael left Mitzrayim, so Ammon and Moab became, and they didn't give them water and bread. In fact, Am Yisrael were willing to buy it and pay for it. And what they did, they filled up big jugs, which are called nods, like leather jugs, and they're full of air, hot air. And when they came in the desert and they wanted to drink water, so they're thinking that these jugs had water in them. They opened it and just hot air came and they just choked from it. And Moab is called irresponsible for not treating Am Yisrael correctly and offering them for payment. That means Am Yisrael were willing to pay for it. And what was the reason that they claimed against them? So the Midrash says like this, and in fact this is a... 1 second, just pause with me. Where did Ammon and Moab come from? Does anybody know where Ammon and Moab come from in the nation? Lot, he said Lot. What was the story of Lot? Lot, do you remember who was Lot? Lot was the nephew of Abraham. And Lot lived in the city of...
Lot and his daughters.
Exactly. Lot was in the city of Sodom and Amorah, and when Sodom and Amorah got overturned by Abraham saved Lot and his two daughters. right? The angels were sent to save them. And the two daughters, they gave birth to, they thought that they were the only ones left in the world, and they gave birth to two children, Ammon and Moab. But Ammon and Moab came from Lot. Who saved Lot? When there was a war with the 5 kings and the 4 kings, and they captured Lot. Who came to save Lot? Avraham. Avraham Avinu was the father of the Jewish nation. So the only reason for the Ammon and Moab's existence is thanks to Avraham Avinu for saving Lot. Right? So think about it, Gilad. Someone saves your grandfather from the, let's say your grandfather or your great grandfather, he was in a war, and he got saved. And you know that because some person saved your grandfather, that means your father's alive and you're alive and your family. All thanks to this one person saved, right? Would you be happy to meet this person? No? And even if you didn't get to meet this person, but you met his children, you wouldn't maybe invite them for dinner, you wouldn't maybe go for them, thank you, because of you I'm alive.
No, just to show some gratitude, right?
Of course. And this you see is the Aleph Bet. This is the Aleph Bet of Am Yisrael, is the gratitude. And of course, Gilad, you would do that because you're a good Jew. You're a good Jew, kasher, and you have a Karat Tov. Okay. And the Torah is telling us that somebody who's not have a Karat Tov, he can't be married part of the Jewish nation. If you don't have, you're going to have a Karat Tov, you don't have you don't have to show gratitude. Then you don't belong. You cannot marry Am Yisrael. You can't be a part of Am Yisrael. And that's why these converts, and specifically the males, what's the difference between males and females in Ammon and Moab? Meir? Meir? Mo? Joe? Matthew?
I guess the female because like it comes from Lot's daughters.
No, so the Gemara actually says the females of Ammon and Moab, they don't have any claims against them. They can marry these wives because they weren't expected to come and bring out food and drink. And the Gemara explains because we have a rule of Kol Kvoda Bat Melech Pnima. Kol Kvoda, the kavod, the respect, the honor of women, is not to go out. We don't expect women to come and bring enough food to men out in the streets or
I can't hear. Maybe everyone can mute and unmute when they want to say something.
Okay, that's a good idea, Maud. Yeah, thank you very much for muting, everyone. It helps with the background noise. So we're just explaining why the women of Ammon and Moab, they are allowed to come and marry Jews, because they didn't show a lack of Hakarat Tov. Because if a woman doesn't come out and share their food, it just shows that it's a sign of tzniut. How do you say tzniut in English? Modesty. Thank you.
Modesty. I had to unmute, but I got it before you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Joe. It's modesty. The reason why they didn't come out is just because they're modest. They're tzniut, they don't bring out. It doesn't show a lack of gratitude. But the men, why didn't the men come? The men should offer them. We saved their lives. Avraham Avinu saved their life. Does anyone know how many generations are there between Ammon and Moab, this nation of coming out of Eretz Israel, and Avraham Avinu? Very good. Thank you. It's a very good man. 7 generations. We see from here that Tov goes back even far as 7 generations. So you think about that someone did something to you in your childhood, maybe he helped you or something. You have to have a Karot Tov for that, even if it was 20 years ago. And not only that, if someone did something to your parents or your grandparents, even 7 generations back, you still need to have a Karot Tov for that. Now I want to just say, how far does it go? I want to go to the next pasuk in the parasha. Same parasha. Can I volunteer? Gilad, do you have a chumash?
No, I don't, sorry.
Don't have. Joe, you have a chumash? No. Yes, you do?
Well,
so please.
Yeah, can you tell me the page? Because I can't find it.
It's the Dvarim, chumash Dvarim, Perek Chav Gimel. Oh, very good.
582.
Ezemal?
582.
582.
Thank you, Mo.
And where is it exactly? Sorry to take everyone's time.
It's pasuk chet.
פסוק ח' ולא תתעב.
פסוק ו',
לא תתעב.
לא תתעב.
אדומי.
לא תתעב, אוקיי, רביעי.
כי אחיך הוא, לא תתעב מצרי כי גר היית בארצו.
Yeah. So tita'ev means like to despise or to push away. And it means that a Mitzri, well, yeah, we're talking about two specific nations, two different nations now, Edom and Mitzri. What's Mitzri? Mitzri is Egyptian. So what about an Egyptian convert? So what does the pasuk say? You want to read the next pasuk for us, Mo?
בנים אשר יוולדו להם דור שלישי, יבוא להם בקהל השם.
Which means that an Egyptian convert, after 3 generations, is already kasher, he can marry anyone. And the pasuk tells us, well, what's different about the Egyptians? Well, what do you think is worse? What did the Egyptians do? Can we see Rashi? Joe, you still there?
I'll be 1 minute.
Okay, so
לא תתעב מצרי?
Mo, please read for me Rashi. לא תתעב מצרי.
מכל וכל, אף על פי שזרקו זכרוכם ליאור, מה טעם? שהיו לכם אכסניה בשעת הדחק.
Okay. So what does that mean? What does it mean שזרקו זכרוכם ליאור?
Even what they've done, we still need to remember the הכרת הטוב they done to...
Right. So this is really unbelievable. And I was just blown away by this Rashi today. He said they threw away your sons. They threw their sons into the river. Okay, so imagine a person, you know, how happy he is when he has a baby boy, right? He's over the moon and he's thrilled. And he comes home from the hospital, Baruch Hashem, he's thankful, and you know he's making the brit. He gets everything ready. You know, he's got the cameraman, the food, the guests, and then the Mitzri takes the boy and he throws him into the Nile River. Now, how could you ever forgive someone for that? That's like that's unforgivable, no? Would you not agree?
Well, you could say the same about the Germans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He says unforgivable.
But we are talking about Egyptians that converted to Judaism.
Yeah, generations later.
So they already did some sort of went through like a process of cleansing themselves.
Of teshuvah. What was the decree? No, of course it's min hashamayim. Of course there's a decree min hashamayim. But I'm just put things into proportion, right? Look on the one hand, you've got Moab and Ammon. What was their big avera? They didn't come and offer you food and drink. Mitzrayim, what did they do? They took your babies and they threw them into the Nile. Okay, and I promise you that if anyone doesn't offer me food and drink, I'll forgive them. Well, you take my son, you take his son, throw the babies in the river. How can you forgive them? You know, you compare that and so. But it tells us that that's, you know, the way that is the wrong way of looking at it. You don't look at what they did. Look at the shoresh. Look at the root. Which means when you left Mitzrayim and you were in the desert and you were homeless and you're in your hot baking desert and you're dying, you just need thirst to survive. They should have come out and offered you water. Why? Because you saved their lives. Avraham Avinu saved Lot and saved Ammon and Moab. And the existence of Ammon and Moab is thanks to who? Thanks to Avraham. Right? Now the Egyptians do. Avraham didn't do anything to save the Egyptians.
Well, not exactly. Yosef it's them, right? So
Yosef, he's the one who provided for Mitzrayim. You're right, but it doesn't mean that the existence of Mitzrayim was because of your parents, right? We don't have any. There's no case against Egypt for you know they should have had the Hakarat Hatov to Avraham Avinu or to the Am Yisrael. You're right in a way, Gilad. You're right, but the opposite is true. We need to have a Hakarat Hatov for Mitzrayim because we, for many years, Mitzrayim supplied us with food. It was with the direction of Yosef HaTzadik, and he was managing. He was director, but they provided food for all of Am Yisrael for many, many years. We need to have a talk to the Egyptians for that. Because we were guests in their house. And you see how far it goes Hakarat HaTov, that we're told we need to treat the Mitzri with respect, and after 3 generations we marry the Mitzri. And you see how far it goes Hakarat HaTov. Even to somebody that threw your children into the river. But if you're a guest in their house, you ate their food, well, what can you say? It doesn't cancel out. And here you learn something which is mind-boggling. I'm saying if someone helps you out, right? So now you owe them. Okay, so now you pay them back. Okay, that's I don't owe you anything. We see from the Torah that even if they've done something wrong to you, or they've done something bad against you, clearly they did in Egypt. But the requirement and the obligation for us to have a Hakarat HaTov to the Mitzrayim still applies. You see that in the Pasuk. Now I want to take this a step further. Haman HaRasha. There is a tefillah, we don't say it as the Sfaradim, but the Ashkenazim say this tefillah at the end of the Megillah. We read the Megillah after Shoshanat Yaakov. They say about Haman HaRasha. You know what was one of the things they gave to Haman HaRasha? V'lo zachar, this is for Haman. Haman, Hotia Oyev, he wanted to kill Israel. V'lo zachar rachmei Shaul. He didn't remember the mercy of Shaul.
My apologies, I couldn't hear the last 3-4 sentences. It's only me, or it's just the line was disconnected?
No, it was like the last few. Haman HaRasha, the sound wasn't great.
So I'm going to go back. It's very interesting, the tefillah, which the Ashkenazim say after they read the Megillah. We say Shoshanat Yaakov, right? Shoshanat Yaakov, but they say a special tefillah, which is called the Shehini Etzat Goyim. And it's talking about Haman HaRasha, what he did, Mizera Amalek, and how wicked and evil he was. And one of the things that it says in this tefillah, against Haman, V'lo Zachar, he didn't remember, Rachmei Shaul. Rachmei is Rachamim. Who is Shaul? Who is Shaul in the Navi?
Shaul, the king?
King Shaul. Haman didn't remember the kindness of Shaul. What did Shaul do?
Oh, he didn't kill the...
Binyamin, very good. This is from Binyamin. And Mordechai Yehudi was from which tribe?
Well, Binyamin.
That was a good guess. What does it say in the Megillah? Ish Yehudi haya b'Shushan habira, u'shmo Mordechai, ben Yair, ben Shimi, ben Kish, Ish Yemini. What's Ish Yemini? Ish Yemini is from Binyamin. And they're from the same tribe. And we say against Haman, we didn't have a Hakarat HaTov to Binyamin, Shaul HaMelech, who was really one of the grandfathers of Mordechai HaYehudi. So how can you want to kill Mordechai, the grandson? Because of him you're alive. And you see, this is what the Torah tells us, that even a Goy is supposed to have the Hakarat HaTov. And this is one of the things you see, Haman doesn't have any Hakarat HaTov at all. And how many generations do you know? How many generations are there between Agag and Haman? Just give a guess. How many generations? Between King Shaul and Haman, to the time of Mordechai. Give me a number. How many generations?
Well, it could be, it's 500 years. I don't know the generation, but
500 years. How many generations?
It could be similar to the difference between Avram Moab when they didn't come out with bread.
So Abraham and Moab. So let me just fill in. Abraham and Moab was 7 generations.
Yeah.
According to the Midrash, Agag and Haman was a difference of 19 generations. And that's really mind-blowing. You see that we're expecting a person to have a Karat Tov for even 19 years. And you see that in the Parasha of Bikurim. When we bring Bikurim, we say, Arami Oved Avi. We say in Agadah Shel Pesach, I remember that when Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, how many generations did Hashem take us out of Mitzrayim? And we still have a Karat Tov for that every year. That's what we say. We say a Karat Tov. And you see, this is built in to the Jewish people, to the Jewish nation. We need to have a Karat Tov and recognize where we're coming from. We see that Adam HaRishon, where did we see that Hashem was upset with Adam HaRishon? They didn't have a Karat Tov. Where do we see that? Let me get it. No? Does anyone know where we see from Adam HaRishon? Adam HaRishon, where did we see that Hashem was upset with him? They didn't have a Karat. Go on, Gilad, Meir. Oh, very good. Very good. What happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not eat from the tree. He eats from the tree. And he says to him, Adam, why did you eat? Now, what is he supposed to say? I'm sorry, I couldn't take it. What does he say? Where do we see that in the pasuk? ויקרא השם אלוקים אל האדם ויאמר לו אייכה, where are you? Where are you, man? ויאמר את קולך שמעתי בגן, I heard your voice and I was scared and I ran away. ויאמר מי יגיד לך כי רמת? Who told you that you are naked? מי עץ אשר ציוויתיך לבלתי אכל ממנו אכלת? Did you eat from the tree that I told you not to? Now, if you would have just said now, yeah, I'm really sorry. I couldn't, I didn't withstand temptation. I fell to I couldn't resist it. If he would have apologized, done tshuva, okay, then he would have stopped there. But he did something worse. And what did he do? It was the wife you gave me. It was like, because of you, you gave me this wife, and that's how I felt. If you wouldn't have given me a wife, I was on my own, I could have managed. Because you gave me Hashem, you gave me this wife, and because of her, I made it an Avera. And here you see that it's Avera Goreret Avera. What does it mean, Avera Goreret Avera? We say in Pirkei Avot, Avera Goreret Avera. What does that mean? So once you start doing Avera, then you're going to do another one. And not only are you going to do another one, you're going to do a bigger one. And it's going to go snowballing out of action. So what do you see? What's a big Avera? The fact that the Adam HaRishon ate from the tree, or the fact that he had the lack of Akarat HaTov?
The lack of Akarat HaTov.
Because that came second. You see, that brought along a bigger one, and that's the climax of his sin. And according to the rule, that's what he was supposed to do. And for that, he got kicked out of Gan Eden. And for that, he was punished by Mita, and we're still now till today trying to correct that Avera of Etz Hadat, which intrinsically is the Midat of Akarat HaTov. And that's all we need to be doing. And we have to appreciate that. Now I want to share with you, I want to ask you a question. I had this scenario once from Rabbi Sochel friend, but I can apply it to everyone. I couldn't even imagine your own life, okay? So let's say, Joe, you can imagine yourself, you're trying to help out a friend. And you help him out, and you're expecting him, to say thank you, appreciate what you're doing. You really go out your way for him, yeah? And he just doesn't appreciate it. He doesn't say anything. Now, do you stand up, you get your mitzvah of chesed?
Yes.
You think so? Why is that?
Yeah, because you've done your bit.
But he just doesn't appreciate what you've done. Like, he says, like, you haven't done anything. I'll give you an example, okay? So the story is like this: the man he goes to work. Imagine you're driving into the city. You're taking your car, and his neighbor asked him for a ride. He said, "Okay, come." Sit in the car. He sits in your car, and he just sits there quietly. He gets up, says thank you. That's it. Goes to work. You go to work. He goes to work. And the next day says, "Can I come with you again?" I said, "Sure. Why not? You're my neighbor." He sits in the car. He sits quietly. Gets okay, and he does that 3 times, 4 times, and then he becomes passenger in your car. Every day he takes him to work. And he says thank you.
I wouldn't do that. I'd eventually come up with an excuse not to take him.
Oh, why, Joe? Why?
Well, if it led to that.
Why?
Because, well, I'd say personally, I wouldn't befriend those kind of people. But if that was scenario were because it's not pleasant. It's unpleasant.
Why? Because you're being used.
Yeah.
He's using you. You feel that rubbish, right? So this was a story, and he felt bad to tell him no, because what am I going to say no? Why should I say no? I've got no reason just to say no. We're going to say I feel like you're using me. Yeah, he said thank you, but he never offered to chip in or pay for gas or help to pay for the petrol or the ride. He never offered to take his car. He never offered to give me a ride, and he starts arguing with his wife. His wife says, "Why do you let him come in your car?" He says, "Leave him." And he's just waiting. He said, maybe he's gonna, maybe at the end he's gonna give me maybe an envelope paying, helping to pay for the petrol or to join in. But nothing happens. And he's like, months go by. And then he's thinking, he says to his wife, what Purim is coming. I'm sure he's going to give me like a massive mishloach manot. Yeah, I can imagine this mishloach manot. What he's going to give me inside. Maybe he's going to give me a car for mishloach. Yeah? That's what he's thinking. And he's thinking what he's going to get. He's going to give me money. He's going to give me a car. And the guy comes up for him. A small bottle of banana liquor and a pineapple. And he says, "Thank you." And he says to his wife, he says, "I can't believe this guy. Every day I take him in. I'm becoming his cab driver. I'm a taxi. He never offers to take his car. He doesn't offer me money. He's just using me. I can't take it anymore." And what does his wife say to him? She said, "Yeah, because you're a shmata. You're a friar. You're just taking and giving you for a ride. You shouldn't do that." That's a scenario. Now I want to ask you, according to the Torah, Judaism, is that the right approach or wrong?
It's the wrong approach, that's for sure.
Okay, Miles, explain to me what is wrong. Where are we going wrong in this story?
First of all, the guy who has a car should have a karat tov to Hashem for giving him a car.
Okay, he's appreciating.
Yeah.
But maybe let's say, Miles, maybe the other guy also has a car.
And then the other guy doesn't, the one who pays for him for what he's doing. Hashem will pay for him for what he's doing.
Oh, very good. Where do you see that? Where do you see that in the Torah? You have a proof? Can you prove it? Only
Hashem pay us what we deserve. And if you do a mitzvah or helping your fellow Jewish brother, so Hashem is in charge of say, okay, you deserve this, you deserve that. So, and even if the other person will give you something, whatever he gives you, it's come from Hashem.
So very good. So I'm going to speak about it clearly. And I'm going to study this week's parasha, and I'm going to give you a proof. Mao was saying very good. He says, we Jewish people, okay, we don't work for each other. Okay, if I do you a favor or you do me a favor, this Jew is doing his neighbor a favor. He's keeping it right. Every day is doing something. Now, this Jew, if he's got the right courtesy, got the right good midot of character, he'll be appreciated and he'll say thank you. Maybe he'll money, maybe a present, maybe write a letter, but he will show his appreciation. He definitely needs to show it. But even if he doesn't, this person still has a big business. Now, let me ask you, if the person doesn't appreciate, he needs to think that this man is not going to pay me for prayers. When I'm doing him a chesed, only one person needs me. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I don't need to expect any appreciation. Hashem writes down all the acts. You will get rewarded, and you will have it. I'm going to show you. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll show you something.
Sorry, Rabbi, the line is not amazing. Can you just maybe...
I'm going to show you proof from this week's parasha.
Okay.
That even if the person does not appreciate it and doesn't say thank you, but you still get rewarded from Hashem and you will not lose out. Now, look at the parasha in Pasuk Perek Chaf Daled, Pasuk Yud. You might get more why, Meir? Excellent. Excellent. Meir is saying, listen. Why the other person is not being appreciated. Okay, so let me just bring out this point first, and then I want to speak about what a person should do in such a situation, because it's really tricky. And I'm telling you, if you ever been in a situation where you're the driver and you just feel like you've been taken for a ride, you actually do feel rubbish. You feel like you're being used and abused, and you just don't want to do it anymore. But on the highest level, on the purity, on a person who's Adam Shalem, someone who's the big tzaddik, right? Very few people can do that. But if you're on the right level, this is what you should do. You should think, I'm doing it anyway, even if he's going to resent me. Can we look at Parasha Perek Chaf Dalet Pasuk Yud? This is the Torah tells us that there's a special mitzvah when you give money, when you lend money to someone. And he owes you money, okay? So you have someone who owes you money. There's a special mitzvah on how you're supposed to treat them. May, can you read for us, please, Pasuk Yud or Joe? Perek Chaf Daled.
May, I would. For now.
כי תשה ברעך מסת מאומה לא תבוא אל ביתו לאבות אבותו.
Okay, so let me just explain what it means. When you come to claim your debts, okay, so he owes you, I don't know what, £1,000, okay, and you go and claim from him. So the Torah says in the mitzvah, you want to take a collateral, mashkon. How do you say mashkon? Collateral. You want to take something from his house. I'm going to take a laptop until you pay me back. Okay, I'm going to take your clothes until you pay me back. I'll take your, you've got a nice jacket. I'm taking your jacket, just as to hold on to until you pay me back. So the pasuk tells us, don't go to his house to claim the collateral. Wait outside. The one who's borrowed the money, he's going to bring you out what you want, and you can hold on to it. You hold on to his camera or his computer or something till he pays you back. Or his clothes. Now the pasuk says, "Ve'ima ish anihu." What if he's a poor man? Lo tishkav ba'avoto. Don't take his mashkon, which means his collateral, at night. Hashev tashiv lo ta'avot kevo hashemesh v'shachav v'samputo. This is the pasuk I want you to understand. Okay, Joe, please tell me if this is clear, because it's very important.
I've heard this before.
Sorry, you've heard it before?
Yeah, something like, I can't remember exactly. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, some of the poor man taking like his donkey. But yeah, what was it?
Let's read it together, Joe. If you look at it, it's in Perek Chaf Dalet, Pasuk Yud Bet. Mara, what page is it? Mara, what page is it, Nachmash?
585.
585. Pasuk Yud Bet. Ve'im ishani, if he's a poor man, lo tishkav ba'avoto. Don't go to sleep and take away what belongs to him. Hashev tashiv lo. Make sure you bring it back to him. Et avot, this mashkon collateral, kavo hashemesh. Every night, you have to return it. He's a poor man, but you've taken his blanket or his I don't know, his mattress, his pajamas, and he needs it at night. So every night you go and give it back to him. It's like a kindness thing to him. That means you've lent him money, and he hasn't paid you back yet, and he's giving you this collateral to hold on to as a debt, and you still need to return it to him every day. Why? Because he's a poor man and he needs it. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
far.
That's why.
So now look, what's the continuation of the pasuk? This is the main point. He's gonna have his clothes or his pajamas at night. Uberechecha. What's uberechecha mean?
The blessing.
He's gonna bless you. He'll say, "Thank you so much. It's so kind of you that you're giving me back my property, even though I owe you money. And you know that I need it, and you know I'm a poor man, and you're still willing to give me at night. And it will be for you as a merit and a tzedakah before Hashem. That means Hashem is going to remember what you've done. He owes you money, and you're giving it to him on an extra loan at night to give it to him. So this is the truth. Let me show you. Look at this unbelievable Rashi. What does Rashi say? Ma'or b'chavad, you're good at reading Rashi. Baruchecha, you've done it very nicely.
ואם אינו מברכך מכל מקום ולך תהיה צדקה.
Yeah. What do we see from here?
Anyway, you're gonna get your reward.
That means even if he doesn't bless you, this poor man, he's not only poor, but he's also ungrateful. And he doesn't appreciate that you. Thank you. Thank you, man. So we're saying here that even if he's an ungrateful poor man and he doesn't say thank you to what he's given, you give back to him. He says, don't worry. Rashi says, don't worry. You know who's going to bless you? Hashem is going to bless you. So you see from this pasuk something unbelievable. You want bracha from Hashem? So don't wait for other people to say thank you to you. Don't do that. I'm telling you, I was once, I had a flat tire, okay? And it was at night and it was raining. I don't know if you ever tried to change a tire. And it's like when I was my first car. My first flat tire, it was at night time. It was dark and it was raining. And like, I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I had to change a tire. And some old man came to me, maybe over 60 years old, maybe 70. And he with his phone, like with torch, showing me what to do, helping me, not physically, but trying to guide me and telling me what to do. And he helped me, and for 20 minutes maybe, or 10, 15 minutes, he was there while I was trying to change the tire. And afterwards, I just said, thank you so much. He's a Jew, fellow Jew, trying to help me out. I just want to say thank you. I said, what's your name? And he said, why did you need to know my name? I said, I just want to say thank you to you. And he says, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter my name, it doesn't matter. And he just walked off. That's why, and I was just shocked. And you see that this person, he just really wanted to do the mitzvah to help a Jew. And he wasn't interested in me saying thank you to him or offering anything. He just walked away. And that just for me was just an insight what a person is supposed to be like. Sometimes you give someone a present or you give something, you do them a favor, and then just you wait. And you wait for them, you want to hear what they're going to say nice back to you, or they're going to say thank you and they praise you, and it gives you a good feeling. But according to what we learn here and what Meir is telling us, you get a much bigger bracha by walking away. Don't even wait for them to say thank you. It's unnecessary. And I've seen it a few times by very great people when I've just tried to praise them or give them any kind of compliment, and they don't hear it. It's like they cut you off. And they say, yeah, Baruch Hashem, thank you, it's fine. And they don't hear it. And why is that? Like Meir is saying, you get much more bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's like a small paycheck. Why would you settle for it? Go for the big money. Hashem will give you to you something much greater than that. And as you see the story from here. So when this guy is giving rides, so he's taking you for granted. It doesn't matter. You are helping a Jew. And as many doesn't appreciate it. Hashem appreciates what you do. And thinking about it also, if you're doing something for your family, and your family doesn't appreciate it, your wife doesn't appreciate it, what do you mean she doesn't appreciate it? You're doing the right thing. Hashem appreciates it. You will be greatly rewarded for it. And this is the way that Hashem runs the world. Let me just show you. Hashem created the world, and Hashem is called Atov v'Ametiv. What does that mean, Atov v'Ametiv? What is that? He does good and gives good. And intrinsically, what it means is that Hashem is a giver. The way Hashem created the world is that we are supposed to be like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, means givers. How do we give? When we get married to a woman, we take a wife. Our position as males is to be giving to the female. We are supposed to give to our wives. How do we give them? So we do our best to provide for them. We offer them what we can. We bring them to our home, provide for them with a home, with food, with clothes. There's an obligation that we have as husbands to our wives, but also not only physically, but also emotionally. To speak to them, compliment them, help them when they're in pain or when they're crying, comfort them. We are supposed to be givers on the physical level, on the emotional level, and also most importantly, on a spiritual level. I mean, the man in the house, he brings the Torah into the house. You set the standard for the kashrut in the house, for the standard of Shabbat, for the halakha in the house, the tefillah, the Torah that comes into the house, on the table, whatever you do, that's the man. You bring that in. You are the ultimate giver. Now, what happens if somebody, he just takes without having a karat tov and giving back? Then he becomes a taker. He's not a giver. Let me just say something very important, right? I want to go back to the story of giving a ride. So let's say Joe, right? We're in a situation where someone is taking advantage of us, right? And you can see we're going our way to help them. We give them lifts all the time. We drive them every day, regularly far, and we don't see any appreciation or anything in return. So should we stop or continue? So according to what we said, we learned.
Continue. You should really should continue. Like really you say, you get more reward. So, more
okay, so
more somewhere.
So it depends. Yeah. So really it depends, Joe, and it depends on what level you are. If you can do it happily, then you should continue. But if it's too difficult and you're gonna resent it, then you should stop. And I'll tell you why. If every day you're thinking, I can't believe this guy is so ungrateful, and it's making you resent him, you're going to build up hatred for this person. All right? And you're making him also just take advantage of you. Instead, you're not going to grow from that chesed. You're not going to become a better person by doing that chesed. Only if you can overcome it and say to yourself, listen, I really want to do this because I know that he needs help. And even if he doesn't appreciate it, I don't care because Hashem knows what I'm doing and I'm going to do it anyway. But if you can do it happily, then you should do that chesed. If you can't do it happily, or you can't bring yourself and I'd say overcome, how do you say litgaber? To
overcome.
You overcome yourself and overcome that feeling of resentment, then you're not going to be able to grow from that chesed. Chesed you only grow from doing something when you're happy about it. If you're doing it reluctantly, so it's going to work against you. So you need to find the balance between these two things. Now I wanted to show you one thing. I had this beautiful idea from Rav Dessler. Rav Dessler, he brought down the principle of giving. That Olam Chesed Binav, the whole world is built upon giving. And you need to always be giving. And sometimes there is receiving to do. But there's a difference between receiving and taking. What's the difference between taking and receiving? This is one of the first things I learned when I was engaged. My teacher taught me before I got married. Did I lose the?
Yeah, but I think that it's receiving, or so receiving is taking is from a place of entitlement. I'm owed. I'm entitled to. Where receiving is chesed, right? So. There is chesed and there is say if you take, you say it's din, it's mine, and you decide about the din, that it's yours, instead of just understanding that actually you're not entitled to anything. Instead, at a deeper level, you already have everything you need. Okay, so
very good. Go on. So actually,
okay, and everything else that you get is chesed, is above and beyond anything else you already have, which is more than enough. Yes, for what you need to do in this world.
yeah. So
there is a lot of background noise. I cannot hear anything.
Yeah, thank you. So, let me just say, I'm going to give an example. So, Gilad said very nice. You've got giving, taking, and giving and receiving. What's the difference between giving and taking? So, obviously, everyone needs to be giving, but there are times where you don't need to be giving. This is what Yao Des says. You need to learn how to be receivers. What does it mean to be receivers? So, just like to say it beautiful.
I can't. Sorry, I cannot hear anything. Maybe it's on me. I don't know.
I just want to show you a demonstration which my teacher showed me as a khatan when I was engaged, and he taught me in marriage, but it applies to every situation. And he says there's a difference between taking and receiving. He says this is taking, that's taking, right? And this is receiving. What's the difference? What did you see? Again?
With different hands.
No, look again, watch again. What's receiving? Receiving is I'm holding my hand out and I'm waiting for you to give it to me. So you're giving. But taking is you got something and I take it from you. Right? And Gilad said it very nicely, that taking, you're taking something that you feel is yours. I'm taking it from you. Receiving is you're waiting and you're receiving it. Like this. I need it from you. And I'm also very careful with my children as well when I give them treats. It's not okay, go take it for yourself in the cupboard. No, I'll give it to you. You need to know that he's giving you something. And when you're receiving something, it's more humbling when you're receiving it. And what it means is that you're sort of saying thank you. And sometimes really, when you accept a gift, you're also giving as well. Right? Imagine if someone you invited them for a meal, right? And they're very happy and they're very grateful that you invited them, you did the best for them. What they want to do, they want to bring you something, they bring you a bottle of wine or some flowers, right? Now, can you imagine they come to the door with flowers and you say, no, I'm not taking the flowers. How are you going to make them feel? How are you going to make them feel?
It's an insult.
What?
It's an insult.
It's very insulting. But if you accept it, how do you make them feel?
By saying how lovely the flowers are.
Yeah, you make them feel very good when you accept it. So sometimes when we receive something, you make the other person feel good. And receiving is a way of giving. Taking is not a way of giving. Do you see that? Is that clear? We need to be giving people. We need to make sure that we're more giving than taking. When we take, that's the opposite of giving. But when we receive, receiving can also be giving. Because when we receive, we allow the other person to give to us. Does that make sense?
יותר משהעשיר עושה עם העני, העני עושה עם העשיר. No, because it...
Yeah, that's true, but how is that relevant to what we're discussing now?
The one that gives is basically gets more than the one who receives.
Yeah, because the ani, on a different level though, on a different there, because the rich man is going to be rewarded for what he gives to the man. So the ani is like giving to the rich. But he was discussing
Sorry, Rabbi, the sound is not good.
Can everyone mute, please?
What did Avraham Avinu? He was the biggest Amud Chesed. He was the pillar of kindness, of giving, right? What did Avraham Avinu do? How did he make everyone religious? How did he be? What did he do? He opened up his tent and he made the kiruv of his tent. He had his tent open in 4 directions, and he put everyone would just welcome in, and he put the best food on the table, the best meats, the best food. And when you finish to feed their body, he would care for the neshama. How would we do that? He said to them, did you eat good? Did you eat enough? Do you want more? He said, no, I ate good. Did you enjoy your food? Yeah. He said, now, what do you need to do? Now you finished eating, what do you need to do?
Thank you.
ברכת המזון.
He said, do Birkat Hamazon. So he said, what's Birkat Hamazon? Because Birkat Hamazon is say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Achalta, v'savata, uberachta. You finish eating, say thank you to the person who gave you the food. Not me. It's not my food. Hashem gave me the food. So then they said, well, who's Hashem? Where does he come from? So he starts speaking to them about Hashem, teaching them about the Creator. And then eventually one thing would lead to another, and they become following, observant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if someone says, I don't wanna test, I don't wanna bench, what would you say to them?
Well, you persuade them too. You try and tell them what reasons.
You say, listen, you just ate food. You just ate food. It's not your food. If you don't want to say thank you, pay for the food. Pay. That's what Rabbi Netanel said. He said, pay for the food. You ate very expensive meat. You ate very expensive food. Worked very hard for it. You need to pay. All right. Pay or pray. That was the line. Pay or pray. You ate food. Either you bless or you pay for the food. Why is that? Because if you just Avraham Avinu, he was wanting to be giving, and he didn't just want to give to the body, he wanted to give to the neshama as well, to the soul. But what happens if he's just feeding people and they're just taking his food and walking away without giving back anything, without paying and without praying? So what has he just done? He's just created a generation of takers, people who just take. And Avraham Avinu says, what am I going to do? If I just let them eat and they don't give back anything, then I'm advocating takers. I'm just promoting the takers. Takers is the worst thing that you can be. You can be a taker. That's not what we want to be. We want to be a giver. So on one hand, Avraham Avinu is paradoxed. He said, what should I do? I want to be giving. I want to give to people, but I don't want people to be takers. And the answer is Hakarat Hatov, is gratitude. You want to be the perfect giver, you make other people say thank you. And by either you doing Birkat Hamazon or by paying. Either way, that is a way of giving. And we need to do this really with our children. Because the children is what we give the most to. We have to teach them to say thank you, to appreciate what they are, everything that they've been given. But not only that, we need to appreciate what we've been given. Hashem gives us everything, and we look at that bracha, and when we come to tefillah, and we come to synagogue, so what do? So we got a list of Hashem, these are the things I need. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. But really, we need to come on, that's just like you being a taker. You're just taking from Hashem. Even in tefillah. In tefillah, you come to Beit HaKnesset and you're taking from Hashem. No. When you come to the tefillah and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's time for thanking. Thank you, Hashem. By showing gratitude to Hashem, instead of being a taker, you become a receiver. You're receiving. You're saying thank you for what you received. Okay? When you go to a Kiddush on Shabbat, right? Someone making a Kiddush and invites all the community. So everyone comes here and enjoy the food. And then you leave. What have you become? You're a taker. You take food and you walk out. How about going over to the person and saying Mazal Tov, congratulations on the child or the baby or the engagement or bar mitzvah, we wish you Atzlacha. When you give them a bracha back in return, what are you doing? You've become a receiver. You've enjoyed the food, but you didn't take the food, you received it. Because you showed your gratitude. So this is what we're supposed to do to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're supposed to show our gratitude. I wanted to end off with a beautiful story. And this is one of the things which really moving story which I had. Very true story, and I heard it from the person that happened to. But you see, this is really what the Jewish nation is about the appreciating and gratitude. And if we don't have that, or a nation that doesn't have that, Ammon and Moab, we don't marry them. We have appreciation even for the Egyptians. Haman HaRasha, one of the reasons it's called Rasha because he didn't have gratitude. But we need to make sure that we don't have that. And we need to correct the sin of Avraham, Adam HaRishon, when he was ungrateful for the wife that Hashem gave him, when he was blaming her for what he ate. Now let me share with you this story. So, I'm going to try and remember the names, but I think it was Rav Sarna. And he was at Bar Mitzvah. And he was talking about he was a teacher in the school, and he was talking about the Bar Mitzvah boy, and he's saying, you know, what a wonderful grandfather you have. And the grandfather, he's the first person in the synagogue, and he always comes to the tefillah, and he's the first one in the synagogue, right? And his grandfather's sitting there, and he says to the guy speaking, he says, tell him how it started. What do you mean, tell him how it started? He said, tell him how his grandfather became the first one in synagogue. And he says, I don't know. I don't know how it started. He said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I never used to go to synagogue. And how come now I'm the first one in synagogue? First one. He says, I don't know. You know the story. He says, give me the microphone. And this old man sitting in his I think it was a wheelchair, or sitting in his chair, and he's holding the microphone and said, let me tell you a story. And he tells the following story. Gilad, still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. No, I want you to hear the story. He said, I was a Jew. He was a kablan. How do you say kablan in English?
Builder.
Contractor.
He was a building contractor. Thank you. He was a building contractor. He used to develop properties, and he was, let's say, comfortably comfortable, right? He had a very nice bank account, and he was a building contractor, a successful building contractor. And he lived in a big house, big house, next door to the synagogue. Next door to the synagogue he lived out, and he never walked in. He never walked into the synagogue. Not on the weekday, not on Shabbat, not on Chagim, and not on Kippur. So he did not go to the synagogue. He never went in. And he's a successful building contractor, and the time came when his mother passed away. And his mother died. And everyone, you don't know what, it doesn't matter what age you are, but when someone's mother dies, then they do everything for their mother. There's nothing you don't do for your mother. Mother does everything for her son, and he did everything. And in the Shiva, he brought, he invited big Rabbanim to come. He set up a big tent. And he's telling a story that the guy who was talking at the Bar Mitzvah said, your father arranged everything for the Shiva. He set up a big tent outside in my garden, and there he set up chairs for all the people to come to the Shiva and visit. And he bought food every day, and he brought in the big rabbis. And every time the rabbi would come and speak, I would take out from my pocket, a wad of cash, like a few hundreds. Hey, this is for you, Rabbi. Thank you for coming and speaking. And everyone would come, they would do tefillah, and he would arrange the tefillah in the books. And at the end of the prayers, Mincha and Arvit, he said, I would ask your father had a big car, 7-seater or 10-seater. He had like a tender, 10-seater. And I said, listen, please take this rabbi home, take this lady home, take everyone. And he used to go at the end of the day and drive everyone home. He became like the driver. He drove everyone home. And he said, this happened every day. And if a rabbi would come to say Dvar Torah for his mother, or to bring books, or to do tefillah, every single rabbi that came, he would take out his wad of cash, click a couple of hundred. Thank you, Rabbi, for coming. This is for you. He was very generous. And you see, this is a person who had a karat tov, that if someone came to him and did a favor and it was for his mother, he didn't hold back. Takes out his money, a cup of cash, a few hundred, he gives him. I think it was dollars. It was a big wad of dollars, not a shekel. And that happened every day for a week. Now, every time, so this man, I think his name was Sarna, he was like the driver, the helper. He didn't get any money. He didn't give him anything. And he would see what everyone else got. And, he's running around and he's driving around everyone. And he said, listen, bring me this rabbi from this part of Jerusalem. Bring me this rabbi. And he's going happy. And whatever he needs, he's happy doing everything. He was like I think he was the Gabbai of the shul. Gabbai. And he's bringing food and that. And the whole week he's giving out wads of cash to everyone. He says on the last day, there was like left like some whole group of ladies at the end of the shiva, and he needed like to take them home after the Suda. He calls them over and he says, please, my friend, I need you to take them home. I want you to take everyone to their house wherever they live. Instead of taking me to like an hour and a half to drive around Yerushalayim, take back everyone where they lived. At the end of the shiva, he packs up the tent and he's about to say goodbye and depart from the kablan, this old man. And he's waiting for his tip. And the kablan he wasn't a religious man, and he never walked into the synagogue, but he had in his heart a big midah b'akarat hatov. He was a Jew, and you see Jewish people, you see good Jewish people that have this midah b'akarat hatov. And everyone else he paid straight away because he had a karat hatov. But for this person, he was waiting for the end. And he calls him over, and he says, listen, I see what you've done. And I see you've been helping me every day. And you're helping with the rabbis, and you help them, and you see that I've given everyone, and you didn't ask for anything. And he said, listen, I'm taking this. This is for you. This is what like this of cash. Dollars, this is for you. I want you to take it. And he said to him, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking money. He said, why? And he got insulted, right? Like Joe said, he got insulted. He said, why? You've been helping me the whole week. You've been driving around. I've given everyone. I want to give you. I'm giving you. Please take this for me. And he was insisting on it. And it's like karat hatov. And he said to me, listen, I don't want cash. He said, I want presents. So you want a present? Okay. Faddal. Ala rani ala rasi. Whatever you want, it's for you. Tell me. You want a car? You want a shiputz, a refurbishing? I'll do for you. You want a diamond ring? Whatever you want, it's for you. I'm giving you. He said, whatever I want? He said, whatever you want. He said, be careful. I'm going to ask you something big. He said, whatever you want, I'm giving for you. He said, I want something from you. He said, your mother died. You finished the shiva. You did everything. You sat down. You did tefillah. He said, now what? Now it's finished your shiva. The rabbis have gone home. What are you going to do now? It's finished. He said, you live next door to the Bet Knesset. What about tefillah? What about Shabbat? Why didn't you come for the Bet Knesset? This is what I want. So the man started crying tears. He said, are you for real? Is this really, people like you exist? You really care about my neshama? He said, he gave him a big hug. And he squeezed him. He said, I promise you I will be in Bet Knesset. He said, because of this man, he said, he didn't miss a tefillah. Since then, for his whole mother died, he was the first one in Bet Knesset, and he was reading all the korbanot before the tefillah and everything he did. Why did he do that? You see, because one Jew, when he cares about a different neshama, another person's neshama, more than he cared about himself. He could have taken away a nice amount of cash for himself in his pocket. It's not what he cared about. And he said that made a person change. And he became changed totally. That not only did he put on a kippah and he came to the shul, but he was the first man in the minyan. And not only that, he became religious. His children and his grandchildren all became. And this all became from what? Shoresh HaMidah of Hakarat HaTov. Because the person, he had Hakarat HaTov for everyone, for the people that he helped him. And then it brings him Hakarat HaTov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is what we need to remember. The gratitude that we have for Hashem. What do we think about when we go to Tefillah? We think about all the things Hashem hasn't given us yet. That's the wrong way to look at it. Let's think at all the good things that Hashem has given us. Thank you, Hashem, for that. Appreciate it. Then when we become a receiver, we're not a taker. And when we do that, when we appreciate it, of course, Hashem wants to give us much more. This is the best way to get the things that we need. So let's look at it. Let's try and change the attitude. We come now before Rosh Hashanah, before Chagim. We want to ask Hashem for Chaim Tovim. Zochrenu l'chaim melech atet b'chaim. So let's think about how we want to approach our way into the tefillah. In the way of gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'ezrat Hashem this week, b'zochat Shana Tova, b'zochem l'chaim Tovim. Amen. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the cheer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I just ask, can you do a refuah shlema for
4-year-old girl, Avital Hana Batya Dina, who is suffering with brain tumor.
בספר דברי תורה הוא רק כאילו תפילת אביטל, is the name?
Hana Batya Dina.
אנה בת בתיה דינה. כן לה רפואה נעלה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף ורפואה קרובה לבוא.
Amen.
Amen.
השם הוא שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom.
Good night. Mayor?
Thank you.
Good night, Joe.
Good night.
Mayor?